everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. We're in October, new month, new energy, new moon, all kinds of new things going on, and for Harry and Meghan, allegedly, possibly a new home. And I was going to read on this yesterday and I just wasn't feeling it. I'd had a very long and busy day. So I decided to put the cards away and focus on other things, some self-care. And then another story popped up. So we have two conflicting stories about their living arrangements. And the first story sounds like a Meghan type of story. And this says that she and Harry, as a power couple, are thinking of moving from Montecito to Malibu. We've often heard this Malibu story, that they're going to spend the trust money that Harry got on his 40th birthday, and they're going to go large, and they're going to buy a house in Malibu. Reason being that they're tired of being, well, she is tired of being such a big fish in a small pond, the small pond being Montecito, of course, and not very well received in Montecito, don't get invited out a lot, and it's all old fuddy-duddies that live in Montecito, and the happening place is Malibu. And in order for her career to be boosted, they need to move to Malibu, and a whole list of celebrities are named as possible new friends for the Parkles. So that's the career boost. A lot of people are saying, it sounds like she's trying to get her claws into that trust money, Californian divorce laws and such, make them spend the money buying a joint property, and then she can get her claws into it. So that's the one story. Next story from Celebrity Days and Nights, rumour, gossip, all of this is rumour and gossip, that tells us that Harry has signed a lease on property because he's being kicked out by Meghan. Now this one interests me because I keep seeing signs in my own readings of Harry getting his own property. I've always felt that it would be something in the UK, and there were rumours a while back that he was house hunting in the UK. Those have fallen quiet. Now we're hearing stories that he might be getting an apartment in New York or something like that, renting. And there was, of course, that story that the king had a place in New York. He does have a place in New York. It was quashed, and no, it was Canada that had that particular apartment in New York, or vast, whatever, penthouse, I don't know. But those are the stories. So we're going to use the Wandering Star Tarot, and we're going to ask what is going on. I want to know what's going on with Mudslide Mansion that some people think is already sold or being rented out, or a white elephant or what, I don't know. We're going to ask if they actually are living together, and we're going to then look at each of them separately. Meghan and the whole Malibu thing. Does she want to live there? What does she think will happen to her in Malibu? And is this a money grab on her part? Then Harry, where does Harry want to live? Has he put money down or signed a lease on a new property for just himself, and the implications for their relationship? That's what we're looking at in this one. And we've been told not to read too much into the story of Harry signing a lease on his own property, that the marriage isn't in free fall, that this could just be some sort of business arrangement. Who knows? At this stage, there was so much stuff out there. Never mind Harry popping up like a jack-in-a-box all over. And as I say that, 3 cards went flying off the tarot table, which means I'm going to have to dim my mic and mute my mic, rather, and go under the tarot table myself. And I'm back from my little adventure. And interestingly, Harry cards leapt off the table, all in reverse. King of Pentacles, Hermit, and the 3 of Pentacles as well. Harry cards jumped off the tarot table and made a burst for freedom. Interesting. So we're going to shuffle them back in. I know I've chatted a lot and shuffled a lot, and we'll get to it eventually. And I think we're about to get to it right now. Yes, we are. So let's remind you, it's tarot and it's for fun and entertainment. All my opinion, all speculation. Just read energy here, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. And yes, I do cut the cards in a very strange way. That's just the way it happens here, and I have a deal with universe. Universe knows better than I do what's going on. And hopefully universe is in the mood to chat today about what's going on in Montecito or wherever it is that they live. Rumours that Meghan lives somewhere in LA. We have the Creator, which is one of those extra cards, which means I'm going to have to go and get the little book. And you can see that the Creator is a no answer if you're in a yes-no situation. We're not in a yes-no situation as far as I can tell. We're trying to find out what's going on with their living arrangements. And the Creator is quite a negative card. I have had this card show up several times in these royal readings, and it's talking about being overwhelmed and feeling the need to shelter from a storm, darkness, and overwhelmed feelings, being undermined by people, needing to hide, needing to say no to people who drain, people who are toxic, people who take away your life force. And it's basically boundaries. There's plenty of cards in tarot that could give you the same kind of meaning, but I suppose it's a big card, and it's because it shows up in this way as our underlying energy as a major arcana, an extra major arcana in this Wandering Star Tarot. And it took a while choosing my tarot today, and I knew when I finally decided to go with this tarot that there was a reason. This is the reason. We have people who are feeling overwhelmed, people who are feeling that their lives are overwhelming, they're in difficult and dark times and needing to hide, needing possibly even to run away. I'm just going to move the camera a bit. And I think that we need to know that about them both. And that's why I chose this tarot deck, and that's why we have this rather strange card out here for us to look at and think about. Okay, so that's our underlying energy. So it tells us things are not particularly happy in Montecito. So what's going on? The situation, we got the Ten of Swords in reverse. Similar kind of energy. Ten of Swords is the end, final closure. It's a desperate card. It's Dark Night of the Soul. It's betrayal. It's ruin. It's death. It's the minor arcana death card. It's things are very bad. So for all the barkjacks who are saying, oh, don't read too much into this, and this could just be a business deal, and Lady C who's saying, I gather, I haven't watched, but saying that this is a strategy to insert themselves into the royal family. Harry is the Trojan horse, and then Meghan leaps out once they've got themselves ensconced at Windsor Castle. I'm being snarky. Ten of Swords and this no card, this Creator card, those are desperate cards. And in reverse tells us that trying very hard to overcome the storm. And as I say that storm word, I'm brought to mind the terrible suffering that is going on in certain parts of the United States after Hurricane Helene. And if you are affected by it, I'm sending you lots of love and support and good positive energy. It's absolutely devastating. And I think of these two brats and their machinations, and it really makes me very angry right now, very angry, thinking that they think their lives are difficult. Really, they are not. And I say this, I'm going to have a little rant now. In my own little world, my village was destroyed by floods last year. Still haven't recovered. On the surface, it looks okay. In hearts, not okay at all. And then I have had two very, very close people to me lose everything in house fires in the last year or so. So, Harry and Meghan, yeah, come at you with a pitchfork in my current mood. So I'm full disclosure, yeah, I'm a little bit incensed right now as I'm doing this reading. So I wasn't when I started. The energy has come rising up. interestingly. So let's look at Mudslide Mansion. Unfortunate turn of phrase, possibly. Let's call it Mudslinging Mansion, as a friend of mine does. What's the status there? What's going on with that place? We've got the Ace of Swords. A big decision, decision needs to be figured out. Lots of people say they can't manage the finances. Lots of people say they don't own it. There's all kinds of speculation around that particular property, and they need to get clear about it. That's that Ace of Swords. They need to be decisive about it. It could be that in splitting assets they need to get clear about it, and who gets what. We're going to ask that next, but it's really decision time. And it's thinking with your lawyer brain, not your Queen of Hearts mind. It's not about sentiments. It's not about this was the home where we had our child, Lilibet, cough, cough, and those palm trees and all the other stuff that they claim to have happened there. Some quite strange things if you think about the myth carriage. But anyway, so some clarity is needed, decisions, big decisions, a new path to do with this property. So are they living there together? I've got the Fool. And that tells me no. It tells me that they're out of there. Whether together or singly, separately, they are out of there. They're off on a new adventure. They're done with Mudslide Mansion. They really are. And so this just chatter about Malibu, this chatter about Harry signing a lease, some people, as I say, speculating could be New York, where he was looking very happy just last week. Something's afoot. New direction, new chapters starting for both of them, liberated, off on new adventures. The Fool doesn't go on the Fool's new adventure with anyone else. Never had to say that about the Fool, never had to think that thought. But the Fool goes off on his or her adventures alone, full of exuberance, fresh start. Off I go. Sorry about the sun. I did draw the blinds, but the sun is sinking down quite quickly. So it's peeking under the blinds and wanting to be seen on the table. So there you go. Interesting. So I'm getting big decisions about Mudslide Mansion and both of them off on adventures. I would tend to say separately. We're going to confirm at the end of this reading. Meghan and Malibu. What's that about? We did hear in this article that she feels that she's living a rather dull life in Montecito and that her life could be so much more successful in Malibu. She does like to move, this girl, doesn't she? What's going on there? Emperor. Okay. Law and order, it says. I think she just wants to be closer to the big cheese. And the big cheese might be Mr. Important in terms of Hollywood. So those kinds of movers and shakers, the boss, the person who has all the power and all the status and all of that. It's male energy, it's very dominant male energy. Could be that she fancies her chances more in Malibu if she's going to be sidling up to someone who's got tons of money and might be looking for a new wife. There is that energy in that Emperor card as well. So I think a double thing going on there, that she needs to be near important people who can boost her career. I think that was quite a genuine sentiment in this article, and also possibly hoping to find Mr. Billionaire. Interesting energy. Tell us about, is this a money grab to get her claws on that money from the late Queen Mother's trust fund that she established for her great-grandchildren all those years ago, long before she died? What is that about? Got 9 of Cups. That's a lush card. It's far too polite, this joy and happiness and thing. It's greedy energy, the 9 of Cups, absolutely. Overindulgent, gimme, gimme, gimme kind of energy. I consume it, I drain the cups as fast as you put them in front of me. That's the 9 of Cups. So I think she's been hanging on to 40 to get her claws on this money. That's my personal opinion. Of course, I am just expressing my personal opinion here, and you are welcome to think something entirely different. I'm not claiming that as fact. So Harry? Where does Harry want to be? He's off on his new adventure too, it seems. Where would this be? See if we can get any ideas from the tarot about where this. Oh, there he is. He leapt on the floor, and I had to go and fish him out. And he was upside down. Then Hermit, Major Arcana for Virgo. He wants to go away. So for all this prancing about in public, and as I say, not a minute goes by when there isn't a new headline in the Daily Mail and wherever else. Harry here, Harry there, Harry everywhere. He's a bit like that, what's that person from the French Revolution, the Dickens book. Can't think now, you will tell me, I'm sure. But the Hermit wants to hide. He wants to withdraw. So he's done his See Icon Royal with the best of them, his audition tape that he's making for the royal family, or for whomever. It could be for the United Nations. It could be that kind of thing. See, I can be a roving ambassador for goodwill because I'm so well spoken and articulate, and I'm not off my face on substances at any given second. Not at all. Never. But wants to go away. Might have to go away and sit quietly by himself and do the inner work at some stage. I've been reading on that and seeing signs of that. As you can say, healing, solitude, inner work, it says. Hermit isn't giving me big resonance in terms of country. Although he might seek wide open spaces with that, he might feel a call to somewhere like Africa, where he currently is, and feel that he needs to be there, but certainly alone. He wants to be alone. He does not want to be with Madame in wherever, Malibu. So tell us about this lease and whatever, has he actually done this? What's going on here? I've got the Three of Pentacles. It's in reverse. This is another one that went flying on the floor, interestingly. This is not about work, all right? Make that very clear. When you get the Three of Pentacles, it's about teamwork, talent, success. It's a collaboration card. It's teams. That's what the Three of Pentacles is about. It's in reverse. This is not a place where Harry is going to have an office, as lots of people do when they get to a certain stage in their lives, and you don't have a work to go to as such. Harry doesn't have work to go to. He might think that he needs his own spot where he can have his Zoom calls and do whatever he does that makes him think that he's important. Home office might not work for him for whatever reason. But for this is not a renting office premises or a separate studio to film in or something like that. Lots of people do that. Lots of YouTubers do that. They have their own spot where they can go and do whatever they need to do. That's not what this is about. This is somebody who is tired of being involved in all of this, I think, Archewell stuff. I think he's done with Archewell, quite honestly. And he is Archewell work very much from home, barefoot, all those meetings. And Meghan made these extraordinary meals for them all and sent them home with armfuls of flowers and fresh eggs and things like that. And maybe send Harry home with them to do some quick plumbing for them if they needed home repairs done. Who knows? But he's over it, wants to be on his own, and this is not a business arrangement, my opinion. What are the implications for their relationship? I'm seeing all signs of separation of energy in this reading, but what's actually going on? And we got the King of Pentacles. He's showing up. He also, these three cards, and I did shuffle after they went flying on the floor. These are the cards that went flying on the floor. They went flying on the floor so that we would notice them, like this one, this overwhelmed energy, this being drained, the dark clouds and all of that stuff. King of Pentacles on the floor was in reverse. He is trying to reassert himself, and we see this. Tarot is simply confirming what we are seeing, that he wants to reassert himself as somebody who's important, somebody who can be taken seriously, who has a substance, a man, not a man of straw. In other words, the opposite of a man of straw. I don't know where that came from, but and I can start quoting T.S. Eliot now about headpieces stuffed with straw. But he wants to be taken as somebody who's solid and worthy and can compete against Earthshot, and he can fundraise and he can solve all these world problems. And that's why he's gracing Southern Africa with his presence right now. And so it's all about Harry and Harry's ego need to be seen as Mr. Important. So that's what's going on. I'm not getting divorcey kind of stuff here so much as Harry trying to assert himself and get away from Meghan and her energy and her failed endeavors. And my goodness, have they failed? So Malibu in her sights definitely, and own property in his sights definitely, and all about him wanting to become the man he was, the prince that he was, before he set off to become the man that he now is, after writing Spare. So he kind of wants to reverse things, and we're not in Back to the Future here. I don't think you can, or Superman, or whatever, where you can reverse time. I don't really think that in this current energy that we are in, you can actually go back to the past, but he seems to be trying very hard. That's the reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.